Go.
Okay, I'm out here today at, where are we?
Titan ammunition and arms.
That's right, Titan Ammunition and Arms in Sparks, Nevada. This is Alessandro Padovani. The name of your company is?
Saber Faster Defense.
And you're teaching today out in the warehouse here?
We've been going through the course Saber Faster Knife Defense, and it's the one-day fundamentals. And by the way, thank you, Alan, for coming up and participating in the class.
It's been a great class. I'll be putting some, interleaving some footage from the class so you can kind of see what we're talking about.
Move it, right? Because if I lock it, then I can only use it for the one thing, right? Then from here, maybe I want to get in there, right? It opens up the bed. So keep it fluid as well.
But you tell me, what is Safer, Faster Knife Defense all about?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That's 4 words. It better be an important class.
Oh, indeed. You know, but no, actually, you know, I have a background in martial arts. I come from martial arts into the defensive realm of things, right? I'm certified to teach personal defense readiness and spear system. I'm a CFS instructor, you know, and so I like these 2 programs because they shed most of the complexity of more traditional programs, whether it is for self-defense or for, you know, defensive firearms training.
Mm-hmm.
So I recognize the value in that, you know, to work with what the body does naturally, to integrate the body's natural reactions into our training protocol, so that when we're taken at a disadvantage, when we're taken by surprise, we are better prepared to react in symbiosis with what the body wants to do. So to that effect, I took all my martial arts training. You know, I trained with Modern Farhan Musul in San Francisco. We train a lot of knife stuff with some Cali influence, Eskrima and so on. But, you know, we realized that we can love the martial arts, but they tend to kind of overcomplicate things, because that's, you know, the more complex the thing is, the harder it is to train for it, so the more I feel an achievement by doing that, right?
If you put that in context, what is something that you would say would be a traditional approach to knife defense teaching, where it is overcomplicated, but where you simplify it and make it more useful, or something that you can learn faster?
Yes. So for instance, you know, as you know, like traditionally, you know, I found myself learning 50 different ways to defend against a certain attack. I find myself learning, like, you know, to defend against, you know, 50 different kind of attacks that imaginary bad guy may approach. And it were very different, very, very slight variables, you know, angles, this and that, but what happens is that we know by studying empirical evidence through, you know, security videos, through dash camera, that the primary initiation attack that a bad guy is going to use in an emotional situation are pretty simple, right? When we talk about blades or tools, you know, it's either the shank, so they're going to come in and try to hit their way, or the ice pick, right? And coincidentally, if I have a screwdriver, I'm going to do the same thing. If I have a hammer, I'm going to come at you this way. If I have a baseball bat, I'm going to come at you this way. So when we isolate the kind of attacks, and we realize that they all start from this area where I can recognize them, then I know that I need only to prepare to defend 4 or 5 different options, right? So I'm going to shed all these other imaginary way that a bad guy may come at me, because they're not going to translate into real life. The other thing is, we don't learn sequences, right? So if the attack comes this way, you're going to block it, then you're going to strike there, then you're going to strike there, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because when we learn sequences, you know, a sequence only works when the partner is cooperating, right? And the
So if I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to be doing in that sequence 100% correctly, then that technique will work.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happens in a real fight, right?
Exactly that. You know? And that's the disconnect that, you know, we have between how we would like to be preparing for a street fight and how a street fight really happens. That disconnect is what's going to give you, in the middle of a street fight, not knowing what to do next because you have not seen their reaction out of the bad guy. You know, when we train in the dojo, your partner is cooperative. You know, the energy may be physical, but it's not emotional. So we need to prepare for the emotional shock of finding ourselves suddenly in a violent situation, right? If we don't integrate the emotional content in our training, we're keeping a very important part of it away that is going to serve us in a realistic situation.
Well, I told you earlier, I expected to come to this class and have it be kind of one of those other things where we're going to do these choreographed things, and I didn't expect to be very impressed, but I was very pleasantly surprised to find out that it was not that, and I got a tremendous out of this class that I'm going to be practicing over the next couple of weeks and probably for the rest of my life in one fashion or another. And I'd certainly recommend this class to anybody who's interested in not just bringing the knife into their self-defense plan, but also you integrate quite a lot of fairly simple just combatives as a way to get to the knife or a way to get to the gun. And this all integrates very, very nicely with gun and other forms of self-defense as well.
You know, and that is one of the things that we see again that differ from a traditional approach. Like we spend a lot of time practicing the draw, right? We spend a lot of time practicing the draw under stress. Because if you look at YouTube, if you look at like, you know,
the draw
of your knife.
Of the knife,
yes,
not of the gun.
No, exactly.
Okay, right.
Exactly, right? Because normally we go down the street with a knife in our pocket, right? So when you see people practicing knife defense and both people have the knife out, it becomes knife sparring, knife dueling. It's equal initiative, right? That doesn't happen in real life. If you look at FBI reports, police report, it's either, the knife is either used as a tool of intimidation, so it's presented before you have yours in your hand, or if somebody has a beef with you and they're not going to show it to you until they're close enough to use it, right? So in both cases, we need first to be able to defend ourselves with empty hands before we can gain control of the arm limb and then access our weapon, right? Where it is the knife or the gun, in this case it's the knife, right? Then with the knife, we need to target the rich area that's going to give us the most effect, you know, so we try to target.
Well, don't give away the whole class.
All right, thank you.
Where can people get a hold of you and find out more?
Well, you can email me at ale@saferfasterdefense.com. And you know, I'm going to be pretty quick in answering to you. I'm based out in California, in Pismo Beach, so I teach classes there, but I also travel nationally and internationally. I've just been back from Italy and so on. So you know, I'm getting.
Is that where you picked up the accent, or?
Yeah, you know, I'm faking. You know, my wife still doesn't know that. You know, I'm not really Italian, but you know, don't tell her, okay?
Okay. Well, thanks for letting me do this interview with you, and thanks for putting on a tremendous class today. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the feedback. All right.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Peace out. You can build some intensity, you know, but you don't want to build speed. Right? And by going slow, you can learn to recognize the next target, right? We didn't practice this flow before, so it's taking me a while to see the next target, how I can access it, to react to whatever pressure it puts on me, but that's how it would happen in real life, right? So by slowly but surely developing patterns of recognition here, we can definitely then apply them under stress more intuitively, all right? So let's